Southeast is a different, but we still have a lot of herders. Forget what you see in the media. When you go to Onitsha, Enugu, you see them. In fact, they will even term them Fulani Igbos because they speak only Igbo and Fulani. They don't even speak Hausa. So it's a situation that we need the country to address. That's why the initiatives going on by this government to actually create spaces for the herders.
What does the Fulani want in Nigeria? The Fulani people, what do they want? Ever since we returned to democracy in this country, under Obasanjo, Sharia law, Jonathan, Boko Haram, Buhari, talking about what they are striking bandits. What does the Fulani want in this country? And what do they want from the indigenous people of Nigerians? The Fulanis are not Nigerians. I'm saying that they came to this country in 1804. These are established facts. They met the Yorubas, they met the Igbos, they met Hausas, Ijos, Kalabari, they met others here. The Fulani came here in 1804. And in 1814, the Islamic Jihad, Osolafodio, was established. Why are they always troubling Southern presidents? These are questions that you must ask yourself. Why are they always troubling Southern presidents? You said they want to introduce Sharia law. I just said, okay, introduce it. What has been the effect of Sharia law in the North? With all the Sharia law, they only arrest poor people. They only arrest the downtrodden in the society. They don't arrest the thieves. The governors, the senators, they are working free. Only the poor people are always arrested by these laws. Look at the Isba police in the North. Why? Okay, let us divide the country. Say no. Okay, how about a regional system of government where everybody manage their resources? The North said no. Okay, restructuring. The North said no. What do they want in this country?
If you are protecting yourself and actually discover that Nigerian army are siding Fulani, mobilize yourself well. Understand that you are fighting both Nigerian army and the Fulani headers. Yes, sir. Fulani headers. You just defend yourself. You don't have to allow yourself killed by the Fulanis. Because I could see in various cases in Enugu State whereby the ESN, Eastern Security Network, we are fighting the Fulani headers. See, Nigerian soldiers are fighting the ESN, meaning they have allowed Fulani to take over Nigeria. So this is an Islamization evangelism in another form. In a way, we Nigerians could not understand this. We are thinking that we are with all these soldiers, not knowing that they are giving the Fulani headers every backings needed by them. So you just imagine what happened at Yahweh local government in Ogun State, whereby the community people, they are vigilante, they came out to confront the Fulani militias. All of a sudden, soldiers started fighting them in Yoruba land. So what are we saying? And nobody's talking. Have you heard anybody from Southwest mention of what I'm just saying now? Nobody. They are being very economical with the truth because they are like that. I don't know what I understand. But what I know is that if you come to Igbo land and we discover that police, soldier is fighting against Igbo man, teaming up with Fulani, we, the Igbos, understand that the Fulani are the police, they are the soldiers, and we must brace it up that it is just like how it was 58, 57, 56, 55 years ago when we fought Nigerian Biafran Civil War. Actually, that is what is going on in Igbo land. Another war is raging, and is raging secretly. The soldiers, the police, they actually mark ESN bad, and ESN are the security outfits in Igbo land that are actually securing the Igbos. Not the police, not the soldiers.
Some disagree with you. Someone said ESN is non-existent. That is the Biafran army. That different.
I don't hear. I don't hear. Listen and listen good. Nothing like that. Listen. Communities, vigilante, community security outfits should be initiated by the community people. That is a simple mathematics. Anything outside is yes, because they know the nook and the cranny of their environment. You don't need somebody from 82 Division Enugu to come and secure somebody in Nnewi. You don't need soldier from Ogidi Barak to go to Enugu to secure people in the Enugu. In the Enugu people, they should know the apparatus, the topography of the environment too well, better than soldiers that are from Ogidi Barracks. That is simple thing. You don't expect soldiers from Obinze to go to Aguleri to defend us. Obinze soldiers, all the military there, they don't know how to swim. We know about our environment. I know Ezu River, I know Oyi River, I know Omabala River. So we can do well by securing our environment by ourselves. It's a common mathematics. And you see the kind of role that Buhari played against the Igbo man. He used this as a craft, very dangerous one, to kill, maim, and annihilate the Igbo youths by fighting community vigilantes, tagging them IPOB and ESN. What is wrong that we initiated by our self-security outfit that should at least secure our communities? There's nothing wrong about it. So all this connotes reasons why the ICC was about writing. They have already written to invite him to come to ICC. All of a sudden, he died. And let me tell you, truth is coming. Because when time unfolded, by the time it begins to unfold, Nigerians will actually discover that Buhari died 2017.
The insecurity in his Sukwato local government area is becoming extremely frightening, scary, and it calls to question everything that the people of Isukwato is known of. We are called the land of generals, but obviously the insecurity in the local government has made us land of, I don't know what to call it again. It's now land of probably puppets. I don't understand. It's a problem. Kidnappings in Isukwato has increased consistently. There is no road now that you can use to drive into Isukwato and your heart will not be in your intestine, or you will not get scared. I have said this thing, this is on social media. I said probably until one prominent person is killed, maybe from between Uturu to Isukwato, or maybe from Akoli to Isukwato, or maybe from Unonya to the main town, until one prominent person is killed and a serious blood is shed, then that might be when the people will rise up to defend themselves. Or do we need a Sunday Idoho or Iboho in Isukwato? I don't understand. What exactly is the government doing? What is the local government chairman doing, the new elected one? What exactly are they doing? Nobody is making statements. Nobody is making any move. Nobody is even reassuring the people that there is hope. Nobody is doing anything. Look at this vehicle here. This is a brand, this is a Range Rover that was shot pieces on that same road. This is a Range Rover shot on that same road. You can see bullets everywhere on this Range Rover, every part of it. And I gathered that the person that drove this Range Rover, they were kidnapped and they paid 22 million naira. 22 million naira. Just yesterday, somebody was killed on that same road and nobody is saying anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time zone you're seeing this video. A quick one. There's a peaceful protest going on in Korola and Kagarko local government precisely. The issue of this protest is for the Fulani to stop grazing in Kagarko local government, because we don't even have farm produce to eat again. We don't have food. We are starving of hunger. So many people died as a result of hunger, and we are still battling. No food to eat, simply because Fulani used to take their cattle and devour all our farm produce. So that's why this protest is going on. Like I said earlier, it's a peaceful protest, no bloodshed. It's just a peaceful protest. Like you know, Koro land is a peaceful place for everybody to live. But then Fulani. We don't need Fulani in Koroland because we don't see their impact.
So we're in support of these community ranches where there will be an integrated relationship between farmers and herders, mutual relationships, where you will have both agro-pastoralists existing together in a manner that the land resources is used sustainably. So most of the people that are always taking ranch as the only option is because they have not done research. If you do research on ranches in Nigeria from the early 70s to date, both the private and the government sponsor, they have all collapsed for lack of management, for lack of environmental sustainability. So there must be models that work, like the model we have in East Africa, in Ethiopia. You have large expanse of land where common resources, water, veterinary clinics, security are put in place. These are the kind of options that will work for Nigeria. Because this intensification people are talking about, they have not appreciated the real challenge we have in place. How do you intensify over 23 million pastoralists in one place? I will give you an analogy. If you want to do an intensive ranch, for example, to ranch just 40 cattle, you need nothing less than 30 million to do that. If you sell our Nigerian breed of cattle, you sell that 40, you will not realize 30 million. And for you to do, no matter how small and intensive ranch is, it's expected at least to be up to 5 hectares. The challenge is, how do we get the land? If you say a smallholder must buy land to do ranch, you are just giving him a zero option. But the wealthy capitalists, the retired generals, the bourgeois can go into ranching for dairy, ranching for beef production, and it can exist together. And we must have models that our traditional herders who see livestock production both as an economy and a culture, which have been passed down to generations. And some of these livestock migrations, movements that you see, are natural adaptation processes. Without those migrations and movements, the livestock would have finished, either through diseases, drought, climatic vagaries of weather and all how climatic changes. And in case of civil strife, if you don't escape with your livestock, it will be consumed along with the conflict that we have ravaging the Sahel and Sub-Saharan Africa. But we are open to all options as long as we can see workable models. But the ones we feel are practical and workable are the ones that what we term community ranches, where the livestock production can be broken down to community levels, where you have small ranches that are managed. Even if they are not physically fenced, you can geofence them using information technology, geomatics, and all those applications. And then you introduce security surveillance. And then, before you succeed, you must also take a census of the herders and the herds. You can't plan without doing an effective census of the livestock we have in the country. So all these have to be in place. And you must also try to improve the genetics of the livestock we have. Our cattle genetics have to be improved. And if countries that are even poorer than Nigeria, like Niger, Chad, Mali, Ethiopia, their livestock output is far higher than us because their governments took interest to invest in the livestock sector in terms of research, in terms of fodder production, in terms of addressing all the zoonotic diseases you have associated with livestock. That is what we are calling for. And some people out of mischief, they say cattle rearing is a private business. The cattle rearers will go and buy land and ranch their cattle. I would say, I agree it's a private business. But which business is not private? Is it importation that is not private? Is it maritime business that is not private? Is it the billions that have been pumped into agricultural sector for inputs, fertilizers, importation of tractors every year? What are the level of investment in the livestock sector? And this is a sector that has huge potentials. Just take the dairy sector alone. The country is losing over 40 billion per annum in net import of dairy alone. So if we can sustain even the local demand for dairy, it's a huge revenue earner. And the kind of jobs that will be created along the value chains. Look at the beef sector too. And there are also a lot of businesses that will come up along that will mop up all this high level of unemployment we have. And Nigeria is within the good climatic zones. The livestock will thrive both from the small ruminants to the large ruminants. And the market is huge. So I see it as a potential. There is a hope in this crisis that we are facing. There is a hope there. If government, that is why we always tell people that the government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for having the courage, the political will to create a ministry for livestock development, we will always be grateful to the government and always continue to extend our support, because it's the first time we are seeing real effort in terms of addressing the challenges of livestock production. If you address the challenges of livestock, we have addressed the challenges facing the herders. These migrations and movements you see, they are not picnics. They are forced movements just to save their hearts and save whatever they have as their livelihoods. And we must also encourage more people, especially our young people that are jobless, to go into livestock production. It's very profitable. I'm into it. I know what it is. I'm an engineer, but I make money from livestock. So I always say that we need to deepen the conversation with people that reason, and then cite examples where it has worked. De-emphasize the four lies, the conflicts. And we must also, to succeed, we must address the issue of the land tenure system in the country. Access to land is still very difficult in Nigeria. And we have enough land. We have arable land about 38.67 hectares. How many percent of it is being cultivated? Not up to 40%. So we still have enough land. Outside the arable land, we have the marginal lands. All these lands can be developed for life to support livestock production.
Okay, now your state governor has actually banned grazing, but this has left some doors like within various signs.
Last month we were in Ishayin, Oyo State. The population of herders in Oyo State is huge. So there are, what you see in the media and what is on ground is totally different. Because I don't think it will be possible to ban livestock in Oyo State, because the population of pastoralists in Oyo State are more than 15,000 by our estimation, and consider their livestock holding is in millions. So how do you wake up one day to say, you understand, but there are some public utterances because of pressure, government has to say something. But I know we have our discussions with the security architecture there, with the government there. How do we manage this increasingly mounting pressures on the land resources? How do we now address the issue of the carrying capacity of grazing lands around those southern part of the country? We must appreciate that in recent years, there have been massive migration of pastoralists from northwest because of the increased banditry, and then from northeast because of the Boko Haram activity and the shrinking of the lecture. The lecture used to capture good number of pastoralists in the northwest. But with all those conflicts, the hearts keep on moving. The pressure keep on piling towards the south, towards the hinterland. So it's a challenge that collectively government and civil society organizations and herders organizations must begin to engage, not until when it resorts to killings and reprisals and counter. Those are zero-sum options, which I believe is timely. It's good if farmers are facing massive influx of herds into areas that they are not used to. And consider that most of the southern part of the country, there wasn't original grazing reserves or grazing routes. So definitely there is going to be trespass because there was no grazing route. Unlike what we have in the north, where we have the massive land and then the existing grazing routes, with the regulations that made provision for them. So, and also the cultural affinity. But there are a lot of challenges there. The cultural affinity is not there. They are just building it. And then the pressure, the population of livestock is so high there. So it's something that government needs to go there. It's a solution. we can do what I sometimes call just grazing zones, where you can have security and then you take census of the herders there, and then also the census of farmlands actually under cultivation there.
Would that be possible in the southeast?
Southeast is a different, but we have a lot of herders. Forget what you see in the media. When you go to Onitsha, Enugu, you see them. In fact, we even term them Fulani Igbos because they speak only Igbo and Fulani. They don't even speak Hausa. So it's a situation that we need the country to address. That's why the initiative going on by this government to actually create spaces for the headers, call them whatever name, and regulate their activities is the most practical, short term, medium term, and probably in the long term we can have, when we have this all these exotic livestock breeds, herders have enough capital to do the ranching that is being envisaged or the feedlots. Some of those things you see on media that they are feeding cattle with feed, those are feedlots, those are not ranches. You understand? Ranches, if you want to see ranches, you go to Brazil, you see ranches. You go to Ethiopia, you see ranches. They are large expanse of land with common resources. Yes. Yes.
That's what the government, considering the security situation now, we have Laprawa, some other.
The government must up their game. Some of this insecurity you see are even external. Nigerian leadership must up their game, especially the intelligence services. You see all those, you must understand why the role being played by foreign intelligence agencies in trying to destabilize developing countries. And you must also take into cognizance the happenings in the Sahel now, where the hitherto colonial masters have been technically displaced from access to mineral resources and have been replaced by a new imperial power, Russia, with using the Wagner group. What you have all these mercenaries that are killing, and then you have now the French influence dwindling in the Sahel and Sub-Saharan Africa. So all these competitions, which are all bound together towards exploitation of our natural resources without accountability. So Nigeria now is at a crossing road, giving leadership to African countries or continuing to be subservient to Western imperialist forces. So our leaders have to up their game.
Would you say the recent affiliation with the French government is also something to take caution?
You see French. Unfortunately, maybe Macron will be the last leader of an influential French republic, because they are losing their colonies where they take resources with impunity. They are now looking for who will now host their impunity. And unfortunately, the consciousness of the Nigerian people cannot accommodate just kind of what the Francophone countries have tolerated for long. So I think they must realize that by now.
So Nigeria should...
No, we are looking at not only government. We, the civil society, are putting them under close action. Africans must be free.
Thanks so much.
You are welcome.
See this Metiala of a man. This Metiala of a man is a very, very funny man, because he just said that African must be free. How will African be free when his people are in African destroying things? There is no way African will be free. It's not as if, okay, I am swearing or abusing African, the way Fulani are doing to the Africans people is not like the way Africa is gonna be free anytime soon. If you hear what he has said in the first part, you will know that he clearly says that these guys in the southeast in this country called Nigeria, like all the Igbos and the Fulanis, are brothers. Now we see they talk to the extent where okay, don't talk and say like most of the Fulanis now are even trying to like speak Igbos more than Hausa. That is to tell you that what he was trying to preach was to let you know that indirectly now Fulanis, they don't dey close to the Igbos. You understand? Now wetin in the try talk So for us to be set free for this country, wetin we go dey do? Na im be this. You see una wey be say okay una be Igbos, if una wan really be set free for this country, make una gather una sef, make una make sure say una no like allow all these people to gum una, because as they go gum una, they go kpai una the way they dey kpai Hausa wey war don dey for that place now. Because as we dey talk now, when we dey speak, war don dey there. Na so e just be o. So for those of you wey be say okay na dey hear us now, if you get anything wey you wan talk concerning this, make you drop your own say. And also if na today be your first time, make you like, make you share, make you subscribe. Thank you.